Welcome everybody to the Geula Healing Expo here in Yerushalayim. It truly feels messianic, Geuladic, to be together with so many women, each one of us seeking to bring Geula, to bring redemption, personal and collective, in our own ways, privately redeeming ourselves from our own exiles, on a family level, in our work, in our outreach, in our community, and globally. Hodu Lashem Kito Klilam Chasto. Amazing to be here together with all of you. So, time is, I won't say short, it's perfect, but measured. And I am so excited to share with you some very deep, basic, mystical, Kabbalistic, internal, underlying, essential, intrinsic maps, foundations, structures, a lens through which to approach the theme of today, Geula and healing. Healing is really a personal Geula. When we heal on a collective level, it's a cosmic Geula. So what I'm going to do is I would like to look at the 10 Sefirot, the 10 Sefiros. I'd like to, number one, understand what they are, how they work, how they connect to healing. Healing, in Hebrew, briut, is the same root, etymological root, as bria, as creation. And when we find healing, we are recreating ourselves. We have the ability to go into our inner code with how we're scripted. And we're able to rewrite things on such a deep level and change the projected outcome result of our inner essence, of our inner code. I wanted to look at the inner depth of the Sefiros. If you're here today, you've probably heard the names of the Sefirot. Here we are in Sefiros HaOmer, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut. I wanted to go into, according to Chassidus, the inner meaning of each one of those Sefirot, the inner experience, the human feeling of that Sefira, because of course a Sefira is a divine emanation. It's a process in the creation of the world that Hashem employed. We are created b'tzelem Elokim. It says in Eov, Yibsari echazeh Eloka. From our form, from our body, we can gaze Hashem. We can behold Hashem. We are created b'tzelem Elokim, in His image. Just like Hashem created the world, Bereshis bara Elokim es hashamayim v'es haaretz, He created a dual reality, heaven and earth. The human being is the dual creation of body and soul. Just as heaven and earth work together, two opposites to create an impossible, paradoxical, harmonious whole. That's world global healing. Healing of the body can't be done in isolation. It's when the body reflects the soul. So we're going to look at the map, the structure, the anatomy and physiology of the soul, and then we'll be able to correlate and understand how human physical anatomy, physiology works to create healing. So you ready? Okay. So the first sefira, part of the human body, by the way, it corresponds to the way Hashem created the world was through His name of essence, of existence, Shem Hovaya, the four-letter name. So His name is made up of Yud, K, Vav, K. A Yud and a Hey and a Vav and a Hey. But actually, the very first blot of ink, the very first seminal expression of His name, the Yud, the smallest of all the letters, begins to be created through the Kutso Shal Yud, through its little stem. thorn, that little line that it begins creation. So within the 4-letter name, there's also the level of the Kutso Shal Yud, so small, part of that first Yud that begins the creative process. And that's our 5th level. So we're going to start with the Kutso Shal Yud, and then we're going to move through 4 other levels, which correspond to Hashem's 4-letter name. And through that model of Hashem's name, all of the 10 Sefirot find their place. All of them work through his name, actually. So just so you have this template in your mind, I wish I had a whiteboard. I wish I wasn't glued to this words picking up my voice. I could barely move, just standing just right here. So the thorn, the source of the Yud corresponds to the first Sefirah called Keter, which means crown. So the crown, just like a crown, an ornament, signifies royalty and sits on top of the head, isn't part of the body proper. So too, the Sefirah of crown isn't a conscious Sefirah. It isn't something we're aware of on a day-to-day basis. It's super conscious, super rational, superhuman. It's our interface with the divine. It's our channel. It's our connection to the realms that we can't compartmentalize, we can't define. It would only limit them were we to try to define them. It's above us, within us, beyond us, and we are in it. So that's the true realm of existence. When we seek to be healed or to heal, we're trying to align with that field, right? In quantum physics today, it's proven that that is a real field, just on a more subtle level, right? More in the realm of energy. It's the realm of soul. After Keter, after crown, and we'll go through these more in depth in a moment, you come to the Yud, which is the first intellectual capacity. So it's like the bridge between the realm of the spiritual and the realm of the human, the realm of the physical. It is so, it's like a seed. It is so non-physical, it barely exists. It takes up no space, no time, but it's there. It's like a tiny point, a tiny dot. It's called Chachma, Koach Ma, the power of everything that's going to come into being. And it represents that moment that this super-rational realm becomes conscious. You grasp it. It's a flash of insight. It's an aha moment. It's an epiphany. It's a revelation. So Chachma corresponds to the first letter, the Yud, Bina, the Hey, the emotional attributes, the 6 from Chesed to Yesod, the Vav, Malchut, the Hey, just how you could map it all out, corresponding to Hashem's name. Let's go back into the blow-by-blow understanding of what these Sefirot are. So Chachma, it's that sudden grasp. You have an idea, you have a direction, you're aligned. Something from above, from beyond, from within has made itself known to you in the tiniest little seed of potential. What's the inner experience of Chachma? How do you prepare yourself to receive the first Sefirah, the first gift, the first emanation? It's called Bittul. Bittul means you nullify yourself. You realize that you are just a vessel. You get out of the way. It's that state of Bittul, pure humility, that acts like a vacuum, like a suction, and it draws this light in. That's Chachma. Bina. Bina is the second intellectual capacity, and that is the feminine vis-a-vis Chachma, which is like the masculine, the DNA, the seed. And Bina means to build. Bina means bain, this between that, it's relationships, it's expansion, all different directions, compare, contrast, differentiation, right? All of the growth, like a gestation, that happens to that initial seed, that initial flash of Chachma. What is the inner experience of Bina, this understanding with which women have in abundance, Bina Yasera? Eim Habanim Smecha. Bina, the inner experience of understanding something, of breaking it down, starting to bring it to reality, but this is still in the mind, it's still intellectual, it hasn't yet begun to move into the emotional realms, and certainly not the physical realms. The inner experience is simcha. Because here we are, finite beings, impossibly relating with our infinite source, with Hashem. How could we have a relationship with Hashem? I can't explain it to you, but when you have it, when you're in Bina, you feel joy, because we are relating with that, or in Sof, with that infinite source of everything. It says in Yeshaya, Ulovavo yadin v'shav v'rafalo. When your heart understands, you return and you are healed. So it's this returning to Hashem that takes place in Bina, but it's in our full conscious awareness. It's broken down to all its parts and pieces and beauty. Then we come to the third faculty of the mind, which is Das. Das, it's the integration of Chachma and Bina. It's the marriage, the oneness of male and female. It's the combination of staying focused on a central point of Chachma, but yet it's being fully expanded into Bina, and nevertheless you're holding both together, because now it is integrated knowing, it's knowledge of Hashem. The inner experience of Das is oneness, is unity. It's literally concentration, it's being on track. You're able to pull in all these vying emotions and forces and thoughts and pieces into the wholeness that Chachma always was. Now, I forgot to tell you that the most intricate of all the Sefirot was actually the first one, Keter, the little thorn on the Yud, because the inner experience of crown is broken up into three parts. The highest, deepest, most elevated experience of crown is emunah, is faith, totally above the mind. The intermediate experience, what does faith bring to? A true experience of pleasure of life. Right? When you're connected to Hashem through emunah, you can now enjoy the experience of the life force coming through. The third inner experience of Keter is Ratzon, is will. So in every healing journey, it has to start with crown. It starts with emunah in Hashem as the source of all healing, into an understanding of the pleasure of life, to appreciate the pleasure of life, and that moves into the will, the desire, the ratzon, to be healthy, to heal, to be healed. So everything comes, can you see this? Everything comes from crown. And then it moves into Chachma. I passed out a diagram, and it has there all the different charts that we're talking about, all the different pieces. And in the last column, it's how it expresses itself in a healing path. This could be if you are seeking healing, how you can align with the healing of Hashem, the source of all healing, and how you can bring it to a lived reality that your body is actually reflecting your soul, and there's alignment between your body and soul. Refuos hanefesh, refuos haguf. Let's continue on in our journey. So we just spoke about the unity of Chachma, Bina, of Das. Now we're ready to move into the emotional faculties. So the first one is Chesed. As soon as you get to the heart, the most predominant, the most essential human emotion when we're aligned with Hashem is love. The inner experience of Chesed, of expansion, the desire to give and bestow, is love. That's tempered by gevura, which is restraint, discipline, to make sure our love is truly helpful to the right recipient at the right time in a way that's good for them, etc. The inner emotion of gevura is fear. So as it applies to a healing journey, love would be pursuing everything that's going to bring you to wellness. Go and enjoy the fair, go and enjoy the talks. So many different modalities, so many different ways to approach wellness. But when you're connected in crown, the reason why you're going to pursue wellness, and of course fear is avoiding things that detract from health, right? Which has to be in balance, that you don't become paranoid. You keep a balance to guide yourself in a healthy lifestyle. But you are aligned when your intention is the Shem Shamayim. Why do we want wellness? So that we can serve Hashem and reflect His light in the world. Sometimes we get off on a wellness tangents and we forget why we want life. Then we come to Tiferet. We have a Tiferet sitting right here. I have a daughter Tiferet as well. Tiferet is the harmony, the balance of Chesed and Gvura. It's the beauty of opposites coming together, many colors, many shades. Beauty, if you had to choose one sphere that aligns with healing, I would say beauty is it. Because beauty is balance. And the inner experience of beauty, of Tiferet, is compassion. It's when you're in deep relationship with the one you're trying to heal, and this might be yourself. That self-compassion to hold the journey, the pain, the process, together with knowing that it's all to reveal Hashem's light in the world through your body. It's such a Jewish concept. Your body itself will become that vehicle to express Hashem's light. This comes to the next one. Okay, so we went through the super conscious realm, we went to the intellectual 3 Sefirot, we've just concluded the emotional 3 Sefirot. Now we're moving down to the next tier, which is the instinctual, the physical. Right, these are the powers that start to direct the energy of all these Sefirot practically. So the first one is called Netzach. Netzach is the ability to overcome obstacles, challenges, how to implement into action. What's the inner experience of Netzach? Fortitude, endurance, confidence, bitachon. I trust that I'm putting in the effort, I'm doing my hishtadlut, and it will bear fruit. Confidence that Hashem will heal me. Hashem has the ability to heal any sick person. That, of course, is balanced out with Hod. Hod is acknowledgement, recognizing that no matter how much effort we put in, Hashem is the source of the success of all those efforts. The inner experience of Hod is Tnimut, wholeness, simplicity, sincerity. It's a perfect tempering guide. Tamim tiya im Hashem Elokecha. With all the effort we put in, with the simplicity which has the ability to heal so much. To understand that the pain, now that we know Hashem will heal me, the pain is part of the process. The pain is bringing tikkun to my body and my soul. There's no pain without a reason, without a rhyme. Brings us to Yesod. This is the consolidation of all the soul powers. This is the realization of our desire to live and be well. This is, Yesod is self-actualization. The inner experience of Yesod, so when it all comes together, it's now being lived, it's being experienced, not just a concept. The inner experience of Yesod is emes, truth. This is where you really feel aligned. Even though you're constantly growing, you know that you are everything you're supposed to be. And everything you wanted, you're able to follow through Hashem is able to bring through you to fulfill all your soul powers, your unique mind, your unique feelings, your unique mission in life. The peak of the urge to be healthy, whole in mind and body, this is Yesod, and of course this reflects the quality of pleasure of Oneg that's in the crown. Now we're experiencing that Oneg in Yesod. And finally, so Yesod is the culmination of, it's all come through the soul, the mind, the heart, the body, and it's all being lived and experienced in the moment. What is Malchut? The final port. Malchut is the world around us. It's what happens when we are flowing, what happens when we are a conduit. It's when we have an empire, we have a kingdom, we have a field of influence. We're able to take Hashem's healing power, Hashem's love, and we've channeled it through ourselves or through whoever we're helping. And now we're able to pass it on, to emulate Hashem, but Tselem Elokim as the ultimate giver to bring health and healing and shlemus in whatever way you do that to those around you. The inner experience of Malchut is shiftless. You would think, kingdom, you're so great, look what you're doing. It's the peak of lowliness, that I am nothing. As David HaMelech says, Hayiti shafal be'enai. What am I? This is true healing. It's all from Hashem. He is the source. This is when there's nothing blocking your healing powers. You're allowing the light of Hashem to shine through. So I think as we conclude, just take a moment to reflect. This journey of the 10 Sefirot, these creative powers, the same word, bria, to recreate yourself, is briut, is health. What is calling out to you? Which one of these Sefirot do you need to focus on now? How do you implement it? How do you align yourself to these spiritual Sefirot through the inner experience of them, through the feeling of them in your life? So I wish we had more time to dialogue and hear your takeaways, but you'll have to process this. You can be in touch, info@thenexus.org, the Nexus School of Transformational Torah for Women. We're exploring this complete kind of growth through Pnimius, through the inner teachings of the Torah, how it fulfills us in every nook and cranny of our lives, every aspect of the day. Thank you so much for listening.